Hey, yo, Mike, you see the new $5 box at Taco Bell?
The one with the double chalupa, 2 Doritos Locos Tacos, and a medium drink? What a steal.
Right? That's some Homo economicus stuff right there. That much food for that price? I'll come scoop.
Like a light, hey, like a light, hey, like a light, hey, slip through the...
Hi, can I get
Many unbearable hours later.
Mike, I need gas.
You need gas. I think there's a station right around there.
$2.77 a gallon on my salary? Gosh, Mikey, if there's one thing I want to know, it's why do gas prices change? What's that? Sanjeev!
Hey, buddy!
Sanjeev, perfect. I need your help.
Sure, Eric. I'll help the guy that trapped me in his car for 5 days.
Perfect. Why do gas prices change?
Sure, Eric. Come with me.
Go.
Welcome, class. Today we're going to be talking about gasoline prices, gasoline demand determinants, and gasoline supply determinants. And as you can see, the gas market here for demand determinants is all increasing. However, the gasoline prices are always shifting, so we're going to keep that in consideration. So number one, oil prices are lower than international benchmark. And oil and gasoline are complements, so the prices that are lower for oil will cause an increase in demand for gasoline, so that'll be a shift right. And then number two, increase in technology that use oil. Mikey, do you have any idea what that means?
Yes, Professor. I think that since we have further industrialized as a nation and that we now require more items that use gas, I think that, as a result, shifts the demand curve right.
Great job, Mikey. Next up, we have an increase in population of car users. So over the past 10 years, there's an increased population of car owners. So therefore, there is an increase in the demand for cars, which is a complement with gasoline, so that's a shift right. Next up, we have for our supply determinants. So you'll see here the changes in the supply of the gasoline. So first up, we have oil inventories are a national security conflict. So as we know, in the Middle East, there's a lot of conflict and there's wars. So the countries are not able to supply as much oil to the United States. So the supply of gasoline also decreases, and that's a shift left. So now, next up, we have new technology allows for better refining techniques. Eric, want to give this one a shot?
Eric. Girl. What? Okay. So as technology advances, the cost to manufacture the gasoline decreases, so the shift right.
Great job, Eric. That would actually be a shift right as well. So gasoline imports are expected to be at the lowest. So this year, around the world, gasoline is being imported into the U.S. at a lower rate. So the supply for gasoline will also decrease in the U.S. And that would be a shift left. All right, and now we're going to be talking about different time periods and how gasoline has changed throughout the time periods. So we're going to start in the past. So about 10 years ago, February 2008, Tesla, which is a substitute, released their first electric car. Now, that means that the demand for gasoline will decrease because they're substitutes. As we can see here in this graph, we see that this is the demand for gasoline after Tesla, so we can see that the demand shifts left and it decreases, therefore lowering the price of gasoline. And next, about 8 years ago, April 2010, BP, the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, we know that how tragic that was, a lot of death of fishies. So this caused a demand decrease for gasoline because of all of the protesting and the outrage with the gasoline market as a whole. So as we can see on its graph, we can see that the demand for gasoline once again shifted left, causing another decrease in the demand of another decrease in the prices as well. However, as I previously mentioned, gasoline prices have been changing forever and they're always shifting back and forth. And actually, over the last 20 years, the price of gasoline has actually increased. All right, next up, hey, Mikey, since you're a hip and with it teen, why don't you tell us about gasoline prices today?
Well, Sanjeev, I'll just draw it in the form of a graph. So here we have our price and quantity graph. And first off, we have the supply graph of now without any changes, and then demand graph now without any changes. So as we have previously established the supply has decreased over the years, so that's a leftward shift. So now we have our supply 1, or our new supply graph. And also, as we've explained, the demand has increased, so we have shifted right. So we have our new demand graph as well. So now we have our equilibrium points for the two graphs. As we've seen the original one, we have the price of equilibrium over here and the quantity over here. But in our new graph, we have the price increase from the previous equilibrium point, but the quantity is indeterminate, so we don't know if it stayed the same or if it decreased or if it increased.
All right, great job, Mikey. Now we'll send it back to the future for Eric.
Well, Mikey, let's get all this stuff out of here first. Okay, so next we're going to draw our projected future supply and demand graph. So we have our P, our Q, our S1, and our D1. So we are projected for the future that since fossil fuels are on decline, the general supply of gasoline will definitely decrease. Along with that, since renewable energy is becoming so popular, it's becoming a lot more. It's an increase in people being able to buy the substitute renewable energy. So the demand for these gas is going to decrease. So the new equilibrium price compared to the old one, the price will be indeterminate while the quantity will decrease.
Great job, Eric. That's the end of our class today. I hope you guys learned something.
Thanks, Sanjeev.
You guys hungry?
Chalupa?
Sanju, get back in the trunk.